Hey guys, welcome to Paperboy. My name is Cody and I'm your Saturday guy. This week's topic is injections. I am not a fan of needles. I was pretty terrified of ever thinking of giving myself an injection. I didn't actually think I would ever be able to give myself a shot, but look at me now. I can give myself a shot every week. It's still hard for me, but I developed kind of a system in a way to be able to do it and not take like 3 hours just sitting there staring at a needle until I finally force myself to do it and just waste half of my day. Yeah, not only have I figured out a way to do it quicker, but I've figured out a way to do it with less anxiety. So I'm just gonna share some of those tips with you. Tip number 1, above everything, I highly suggest that you learn from your doctor how to give yourself a shot first. Really try not to rely on someone else, especially if it is a significant other. Like if your significant other gives you your shot, that's fine, but from personal experience, I did start testosterone while in a relationship, and my partner at the time learned how to give me my shots. It just gets really hard if things in the relationship get rocky, and I definitely depended on her to give me my shot. And I think we actually broke up on shot day before she gave me my shot, so it created a little bit of panic. I don't know how to give myself a shot, so I had to have my friend's mom give me a shot, and she's a nurse, so that worked out, thankfully. But just a little tip, try not to rely on a significant other if you can. My other suggestion would be to get help from a friend that you trust, and a friend that you know isn't going anywhere or is not gonna hold anything above your head and be like, well, I'm not gonna give you your shot today because you're being an asshole. Friend or family member, if you absolutely cannot give yourself a shot, that would be my go-to next step. So tip number 2, when you are planning to give yourself a shot and you're just starting out, would be to plan something fun to do after your shot, so that way you have in your head like, oh, as soon as I give myself a shot, then I get to go do this. And it not only gives you like a time restriction, so you don't stand there or you don't sit there staring at your needle for like 3 hours, but it kind of sets off that reward factor, so you know that as soon as you get it done, the sooner you get it done, that not only is it going to be okay, but you get to do something fun afterwards. For me, I always plan to go out to sushi afterwards, which probably explains why I crave sushi now every time I give myself a shot. But that's okay. I still do eat sushi afterwards if I have the chance. So tip number 3, I would also suggest putting on like your favorite music, or maybe some soothing music, or just do any sort of thing that will relax you. Maybe even do it while you're watching your favorite show, or something to kind of keep your mind off of any sort of anxiety-inducing issue. Tip number 4, if you have been trying to give yourself a shot for like over 10 minutes, I highly recommend that you cap it up for a bit and walk away. You know, go walk around the house for a little bit, try and calm down, and then come back to it and then start again. Because I've noticed that if there's times where I sit there for too long, then it gets worse and worse. My anxiety gets worse and worse. And then sometimes I will be sitting there for a long time and I'll go for it and I'll give myself a shot, but I'm shaking so bad that it just makes it a lot harder for me to inject into my leg. And shakiness and injections do not mix. There's been times where I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to give myself an injection because I was shaking too bad. So that leads to my last tip, and that is tip number 5. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing is very important. People who tend to pass out after shots, it's because you're not breathing. So definitely something that I have to continually remind myself to do. Breathing, very important. Last thing is, don't forget to aspirate. You don't want to inject into any sort of vein on accident. That's when it can get a little bit dangerous. If you don't know what aspirate means, it just means that when you inject into your specified area, that you pull up on a syringe to make sure that you are not in a vein. So when you pull up and you don't see any blood that goes into your syringe, then you're good to go and you can inject right into your leg. So yeah, those are my 5 tips. Hopefully that is helpful for you. That is it for this week, guys. Peace out, and I'll see you next week.